Hey, Sky Guy. Oops. Let's find a way to Sky Guy if we can. Mr. Sky Guy that keeps talking about the sky people. It's funny because it was kind of a running gag of like, oh my god, I don't want to talk to you about the sky people. Like every other time we got there, I was like, oh my goodness, because I would make the rounds around the table and talk to everybody. When it was between each temple, and then it was like, oh, the Sky Guy. But the funny thing is that the repetition of that, him being this nerd that won't stop wanting to talk about the sky people all the time, is that it's a lot easier to remember him. Jesus. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Some stuff just started falling over. Huh. No, that's fine. It's from the closet. It's like some sort of avalanche of towels has occurred, and nothing matters in that group of things. Is he down here by the owl? The owl thing that clearly this wand works on? There he is. Oh my. Color me surprised if it isn't Wolf. What a coincidence meeting you in a place like this. How very odd. Say, old boy, do you remember what I told you before about the legend of the sky beings known as the Oka? Well, yes, well, there's something about it that's been bothering me, so I came here to snoop about. I think that you would appear here... to think that you would appear here with such perfect timing. You really are a rather extraordinary fellow, aren't you? It's almost as if this entire story kind of revolves around you for narrative reasons. I have found it at long last. Observe this statue. It's the same as the one in the manuscripts my dear father left me. I guess he is dead. Also. There are many similar statues around Hyrule, but this one seems to be different. Here, look at the belly. There's something written here, you see? This, too, was in my father's notes. It's called skywriting, I believe. Awaken us with the word that breaks the seal. Yes, indeed, that is what it says. Wait a moment. Isn't that Elia a friend of yours? It's simply tragic how she lost her memory. And that rod of the heavens she mentioned, I'm sure it has something to do with the word that breaks the seal. Isn't there any way to restore her memory? I'm certain it would help us figure this all out. The rod. Can't show you the rod? Oh well, book. What's this? Ah, it's skywriting. Where in blazes did you get this? You don't suppose this could be the word that breaks the seal? Right. Let's try it out. No reaction. So, it is not this statue. Wolf, thanks ever so. You have brought me one step closer to solving this puzzle. I shall give you this book back to you. Now, I shall try out this word on other statues. I have made the rounds of these statues so many times that I have memorized their locations. I will place marks on your map so you can find them. Come find me in case you have questions. Remember, every one of those marks is near an owl statue. Now, if you'll excuse me. Oh. Oh. Interesting. So him saying that made the power come to the rod. Okay. The writing in the book was a spell that imbued the staff with magic. Now you can do the other statues what you did here before. So, he did say he would mark your map whenever there was a statue, didn't he? Then we should be able to check those spots, right, Wolf? That's what I thought. Because it's like a weird plug. Break it with your master sword. Break it with your master sword. Alright, fine. Fine. Moving on. Huh. I think the natural interpretation of seeing those things around was like, oh, I'm gonna unlock a mechanic that allows me to, like, you know, check out some secret locations in the overworld once I have the right tool, because that's a reoccurring mechanic in the series, but instead, it's a mandatory story, like, go to all the spots sequence. I guess that helps me remember where they all are. Why is there still a flag in here? Checking on you guys? I will be alright, Wolf. I will be waiting here with the children until you return. So don't worry about us, okay? That acquaintance of Telma's is in the cellar right now. He's very interested in that ancient statue down below the sanctuary. No. I think it's just all 6 statues are currently flagged, including the one I'm already done with, maybe? Unless we find the way to actually open the eye and then have to come back. This seems to be a reoccurring thing in these games, is like the near end of game, like, journey around the map sequence. Just beating that horse until it's dead, so I can beat a dead horse. So I can beat my wolf meat. Wow, there's a lot of owls really close together. This is the first one that I remembered existing. Can you not? Okay, fine. You can't jump that? Now this one's hole is not covered. Which is how I knew they had a hole, because this is one of the first ones I saw. There we go. That's clearly what I want you to do, to create a platform. Never mind. You can still kind of make it keep going even though you're not running into a wall. Tricksy. This is one of the first puzzles I immediately solved at the beginning of the game, basically. And that I knew what I was supposed to do, more or less. But it was like, my tool? Where's my tool? Oh. What's in the chest? Yay. I'm glad I looked forward to that for like 20 hours. Ah. Ah. I've been looking forward to opening that chest since the beginning of the playthrough. Yay! We found a sky character. A missing part of the word in the ancient sky book has been restored. How do we know what order they go in? We're finding the pieces of a word, but how do we know what order to reconstruct them in? I'm asking the right questions here. Yep. I still don't have... Yeah, I still don't have the grapple trick either. There's still a few grapple points around here I can't do things with yet. Ow. We hit the hitbox. Oh, stop. Not entirely sure why I'm using Epona right now. I could just teleport there. Part of it was that Epona was just sitting there in the way, and I was like, oh cool, I can't teleport because my horse will report me to the Skyrim guards apparently, and they'll know that I'm a naughty boy. Excuse me. Excuse me, rude. I don't want any of your... Oh my goodness, that's a camera angle. Interesting choice there. Hey! Oh no, a quarter of a heart. What will I do? I only have like 15 of those. Or 60 of those specifically, if we're counting quarters of hearts. Wow, I even have birds after me. This is not a friendly field. Leave me alone. Looking for an owl? There's an owl. I see ya. Oh, time for everyone to die. You chose poorly. And you chose poorly. You thought you could run away from me? I'll teach him. That's just the way to the cave. I understand I can just hit it with the wand. I'm just looking to try to figure out what the local puzzle might be, if there is one, to get like a stamp. Because Link won't climb this, will he? Oh, he will. He'll just climb it. Do-do-do-do-do. It's a squiggly spooch. Okay. Yeah, but where do I take... Ah. I remember now. I remember you. Let's get a little closer together real quick, so I don't walk off a ledge with you right there. There we go. I was like, I thought there was a bridge puzzle somewhere around here that I couldn't solve before, and it's just I had to check the other side of the bridge. It was that one pit I was trying to jump over, and I was like, Midna, 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 Midna. As we want to do in our playthrough. I can't wait for that guy to disrupt my puzzle by shooting me with arrows. I see you. Don't think I don't see you. Woo! No, go away. I'm not here for you. Careful. Oh! Yeah, that doing a jump will really mess up the whole spacing thing. There we go. Oh, he can't catch the ledge because of reasons, of course. Nothing in the room itself. Come on, heart pieces. More heart pieces. Ah! Go away. You're in Z-target range. That means that I'm impervious to you. You only stand a chance when I can't Z-target you, because then I have to deal with Zelda aiming. It's a heart piece. And no one wants to deal with Zelda aiming. Especially not in a world that has 0 gyroscopes involved and Nintendo joysticks in first person. Whee! Really, I don't like first person aiming in most things. It never feels right. Like if you like obsessively play shooters, it probably feels right before long. But as somebody who doesn't obsessively play shooters, the only one that feels natural to me on consoles is the one that I did play a lot. Go figure. Which is Halo. So I can play Halo and Destiny with joysticks, and I'm like, yeah, no big deal. This just works, quote unquote, in my head. And to some extent, I think stuff like Call of Duty, instantly I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Even though I don't even play them for years at a time because I don't care about those games. But whenever it's like weird first person thrown in the middle of like, I should really be a wolf still, considering the distance. Whenever it's like weird first person that you just use for like the bow segment or something of like a Zelda game or like a bunch of other games where you're largely not playing in first person. Oh yeah, I think I've been here before. I just had no reason to come back ever. Whenever the first-person shooter part is like a rare component, it never feels good. Ever. So I'm always very happy to see Z-targeting as an option to use against the baddies. Nope. Wrong button. Thanks for understanding. There we go. You got 100 rupees. Yay! I mean, it's better than a stamp. Oh right, I can't reach that. This is the first time so far where I actually have to quote unquote solve the getting to the location that the thing's at. Also. Excuse me, I'm doing things. I'm saving the world. You go back to goblining or whatever. Ow. Wow, you really... Yeah, that was your one chance and you flew it. You just blew it up. You blew it. You blew it. I kind of feel bad when we do stuff like this sometimes. Some guy devotes his life to studying something or other, and then we just come in 5 minutes and just like, haha, and we just do it all. On one hand, oop, I think I've had that one before. On one hand, they got to be useful in that the thing that they worked on helps us, because like, hey, look, now you have that list of things. Oh, I see a bug up there that I don't think I've captured before, because it's kind of out of the way. But on the other hand, I kind of wish I could take them with me, because it feels like unfortunate to just do it behind their back and be like, we finished the entire thing that you were devoted on. It's like spoiling the ending. Yay, female butterfly. Yeah, it is new. Cool. Go away. Ow. Was it worth it? Oh, you're showing off now, Link? Is that what you're into? The responsiveness is great. It's also really funny, though. There's like a sliding scale on how quickly characters turn around when they have momentum and stuff like that. Where like on one side, you have the anti-momentum, you have the anti-responsiveness and the ultra-momentum, which is Sonic the Hedgehog. And in the middle, you have Mario, and on the far opposite end, you kind of have Link, where Link is like, I don't give a fuck how fast you're moving. He pressed the other direction, so we're going that way now. Except for when you're on a horse, obviously. Obviously. What is the how do I get up there? How would I get to the chest? Does the tiny height difference lead to it being climbable? No. Ah. The vines are claw-shottable. This raises additional questions. Okay. So you have to be under the vines, because the vines are not over the cliff. Also, anything up top? Not really. Ah, yeah. Did it. We're almost there. We're almost there. Soon, even Wolf will know his ABCs. Heart piece. Oh. Do I even have... Am I missing out on a payment opportunity right now? I spent 1,000 on that one heart piece at the charity. I've crafted the bridge. I've crafted... I put Malo Mart together and funded that. I bought the stupid armor that is stupid and sucks. I have every equipment slot on my character filled out. I don't know. I don't know. Also, don't know why I just possessed that. It's fine. Let's put it back for memory's sake, even though it's going to probably respawn. I don't remember if there's something else. Oh well. It's money in a Zelda game. It doesn't matter. Honestly, most of your resources almost never matter in Zelda games, which is what feels weird about them to me. Your heart containers and your bottles and your rupees. In particular, once you know how to play them, they're like extra useless. Like I know at Dark Souls, and I'd argue I'm even like decent at Dark Souls games, but like I don't stop using my Estus flask. But like I don't use my bottles. I think I've been revived by a fairy once, and it was because I was in that mini game where I couldn't figure out how to survive. Oh, look at you. But I was in that mini game where I couldn't survive. I couldn't get the hit right on like the weird like charge against the enemy's boar mini game thing that was happening on the bridge, the jousting competition. And so I got revived by a fairy at one point there, and there might have been one other time. Well now. Your power is a gift given only to those with confidence to wield it. Hello? Don't see much reason to be wolf in here. Well, to be a wolf in here. Hi. Oh, I feel bad now. Just instantaneously down. Oh, are we doing the kill gauntlet like from the end of the last game? Wind Waker? Or it's just kill a bunch of dudes in each room? Oh yeah, it's a point of no return drop down, and there's enemies inside. Holy shit, rat. Look at Mr. Badass over here. That hurt. Is that thing gonna happen? The thing where I say a thing and the game's like, I'm gonna immediately— I heard you was talking shit. Which is like, it happens every playthrough. I say something about a game and then immediately there's like a thing that like almost directly counters what I was saying. Because if this is gonna be the enemy gauntlet dungeon, then that increases the chance I'll use my bottles, that's for sure. Yeah. Definitely something uncomfortable about how they're all snakeheads now. What is my supply? I have 3 fairies. It's probably fine. We're probably fine. Everything's fine. Are there puzzles in these rooms? Or just the enemies? If it's just enemies, I can just fight them and it's probably fine. I'm just worried it might be like that one from Ocarina, where it was impossible to complete unless you had every item in the game, including secret ones that you had no way of knowing existed, even after beating every dungeon in the game. Yeah, I know about the scarecrow now. That's dumb. That's the dumbest stuff. I'm infuriated by the entire concept of the scarecrow. Looping, 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 looping. Woohoo! That's one way to dodge the attack. Ow, rude. Gotcha. I wonder if they'll be interested, like, branching paths or anything? I should default to the bow. Maybe I shouldn't default to the bow. Maybe defaulting the slingshot's good because the earlier enemies might be the easier enemies or something. Hey, you. Okay. There was a trick to you guys, right? Oh, yeah. I think it was that. I think that, yeah, that was it. Bit systematic, isn't it? I did it. They seem to like this idea, right? The let's fight all the dudes dungeon. It's weird just because it's not the most combat-oriented series, it seems. And yet they always do this anyway. For me, I feel like the best way to fight keys is just to wait for them. Any flying enemy that dies in one hit, you could just Z-target them and sword them when they decide to finally attack. Whereas their default flight paths are usually perpendicular to your attack direction, so if you shoot projectiles at them, they likely will miss. And you're just wasting a limited supply, which in particular, right now, is relevant because I don't know how long this will be, or whether it'll give me a resupply. I think that Breath of the Wild really was able to highlight how far its combat and situation stuff had come, simply due to the fact that, like, no, don't do that. No, roll sideways. There we go. Dang it. There we go. I think Breath of the Wild, which added the Trials of this Master Sword or whatever it was called in the first DLC, like that is, I now know, is like a reoccurring thing that happened in Wind Waker and this, apparently. And it really highlighted how far the combat and level design and like environmental interaction options had come, because those were really interesting to play through. That was really cool stuff. So starting there and going to here, I can see them slowly evolve and get closer, but all the environmental interactions and tricks you could do and the expression you could have is neat. Like, I don't know if somebody would want to watch 10 different players play this particular combat trial, but I could totally see someone watching 10 different people play that thing, because they put you in this sort of sandbox where you just have to come up with solutions on the fly, especially since they do it, especially since they're set up as like a Metal Gear subsistence run. Ow. I love that it's set up like a Metal Gear subsistence run, so that you don't have anything on you and you have to just find stuff yourself. That stuff's fantastic. You go in with no equipment, to the point where you don't even have healing items or fairies. You have to specifically catch them. You can miss the fairies, which I did, well, at least once. In that I scared it away on accident. What have we here? Welcome, hero, to the Cave of Ordeals. I am the Great Fairy. I reign over all fairies of this realm as their queen. In praise of your efforts thus far, I will release fairies to Orden Spring. From this point on, you will have need of the ancient power that allows one to walk along a cliff without a single foothold. If you want to give up the fight for now and go re-equip yourself, I can return you to the surface. You need merely speak to me.